What's up, guys? So sorry if the lighting is kind of crappy in here. We're moving soon, so I already have some of our stuff at the new apartment. So one of my lights is one of them. So I just kind of had to make do with what's in the room, and sorry if it sucks, but on with the video. So I've been debating on making this video for a really long time. I don't like to focus too much on my digestive disorder, and I know that it's not always something that people talk about in the open, but I kind of would like to change that a little bit. I want to be totally open and honest about what it is and how it can affect people such as myself with active careers and active lifestyles. And if I can even just help one person by doing this, then it's worth it. So my backstory. I was, or so I've been told, a really colicky baby. They had to have me on a specific formula and everything else because I would just get rid of whatever they would try to give me almost immediately. And as I got older throughout childhood, I remember experiencing like occasional discomfort, you know, kind of some days feeling really gassy, kind of painful gas, and just general feeling of, oh, maybe I just ate too much junk. And as a kid, that's obviously you don't really think about that stuff, so it's kind of what I just chalked it up to, if I ever did think about it. After high school started, I kind of started to pay more attention to it, and I would be a little bit more aware of what my digestive system was doing or not doing. And then when I hit the college age, it got bad. I couldn't, or rather was too nervous to, you know, go for a run outside because I'd be afraid that halfway through it, I would need a bathroom really badly, or it would just become too painful. You know, I'd be doubling over, stuff like that. And I started to notice a lot more symptoms like excessive gas, bloating, just pain, really irregular schedule or type of, you know, movements with my digestive system. So I ended up going to see a gastroenterologist at the end of summer of 2016. I was immediately put on the low FODMAP diet, and I know a lot of you were like, what in the world is a FODMAP? And I asked that exact same question when my doctor put me on the diet. But essentially, FODMAPs are strings of carbohydrates that contain certain types of sugars like polyols, fructans, oligosaccharides, things like that, that are usually hard for people with IBS to digest. And instead, the foods containing those things start to ferment in your system, which causes your symptoms. So it's essentially an elimination diet. So you cut out, you know, gluten, lactose, and dairy, different higher polyol or fructan foods like, I think even broccoli I couldn't have, peaches, apples, stuff like that. And once you completely rid your body of these things for about 6 to 8 weeks, you reintroduce them one by one and see if it causes any symptoms. Then after that, my doctor did want me to have a colonoscopy just to check for Crohn's disease, because I have some family members with Crohn's, and thank goodness it wasn't Crohn's, but I'm glad that we did the colonoscopy. So I had that in the late fall of 2016 after I had been done doing the low FODMAP diet. And then after the colonoscopy, she officially diagnosed me with IBS, and it's been a learning experience ever since. So what is IBS and what are the symptoms? IBS is short for irritable bowel syndrome. I've also heard the term spastic colon. I don't usually use that one, but symptoms may include, hang on, let me get my list here. Cramping or discomfort or abdominal pain, change in bowel habits, constipation, diarrhea, inability to empty bowels, digestion, nausea, excessive amounts of gas, or the urgent need to go. Also common are things like anxiety, depression, discomfort, loss of appetite, or your symptoms being alleviated once you go. Is there a total cure for IBS? No, not at this time. And cases are so individualized that I think that's kind of why there isn't a better treatment yet because it can literally vary from person to person as far as what your triggers are. How it can affect your daily life. So IBS has many ways it can affect your daily life, but probably the most common and most frequent ones are what you can and cannot eat. So that can make eating out at restaurants really interesting. And I hate being that person, but unfortunately it's just part of it, at least for me. Another way it can affect your daily life is your exercise routine. There are certain days where if I am kind of in the middle of a flare-up, or it's just not I'm feeling 100% kind of day with my digestive system, I have to alter my workouts. And by that I mean I usually don't do cardio on those days, or I do a really lighter version of my cardio so as to not upset my belly further. Another way is worrying about being near a bathroom. And this one, at least for me, well, no, they're all annoying, but this one I think is the one that is kind of unexpected, the one that you wouldn't necessarily correlate with a symptom or something you deal with something like this. Just because, I mean, when you go out places with your friends, one of your first thoughts about where you're going is not, oh, is there a public restroom? And that's something that I really kind of had to start paying attention to, especially in the beginning of being diagnosed when my symptoms were a lot worse and I didn't quite have everything relatively managed yet. And it sucks to have to think of that stuff because you want to just be able to go out and have fun with your friends. You don't want to have to sit there and worry about whether or not you have a place to go to the bathroom in case all of a sudden your body decides it's an urgent need. Another way it can affect you daily is pain and discomfort levels. There have been certain days where I am in the middle of a flare-up and I'm literally like curling into a ball in my chair at my desk at work. I've never left work because of it, because I really try not to let it, you know, kind of run my life. That's a point we'll get to later. But I definitely struggled those types of days, and that's okay. But it can be hard to focus on your work and put out your best work and really kind of be mentally there on days that you're having those issues. Another way it can affect you is exhaustion or just feeling drained. There are so many days where if my digestive system is bugging me, or even the couple days after a flare-up, I just feel so fatigued, so low energy, and it's almost kind of worse than dealing with the pain and discomfort day of flare-up, because I just want to get back into my normal routine, and you kind of can't for a few days sometimes if the flare-up's bad enough. Another way is you become more label and ingredient conscious. So I never really used to be the label reader. Unfortunately, when you have something like this and you have different foods that can negatively affect your system, you become the label reader and you have to pay more specific, detailed attention to what you're putting in your body.